We kind of have a little rock swale built up here, and then we've got our first rolling rock dip kind of deal. So we got to see a lot of water flowing and a lot of water filling into a lot of our earthworks on the upper half of our property. But now we got to see the lower half. What's going on, everyone? I'm Brandon, and this is the Greening the Desert Project. Looking at the top half of our property, there's a lot to observe and there's a lot of notes to take on what we saw and the water interaction with our landscape. And I appreciate everyone that had their own input and their opinions on things that we could improve on around here. What I haven't explained mostly is that there is an overall plan, there is a plot plan map to all of this, but when it comes to drawing on a satellite map, you know, the ideas and the concepts that are going to be put in place, it's one thing and one perspective that we're looking at, but it's a more up close and personal experience being on the ground and actually seeing the landscape itself, feeling it on your feet, and having to look at the adjustments that need to be made from just looking at a satellite map. So we do have an initial overall plan, but there are a lot of adjustments that need to be made. We got a whole other video to do a lot of explaining over all of these earthworks and rainwater harvesting techniques we've done. But now we got to see the lower half. We're down on our driveway, pretty much towards the end of our property and our neighbor's property. But these are our beginning swales that we dug before we moved here, actually. We can see now that we're holding and backing up a lot of water. That's super deep. That's about 1 foot or 2 deep. Yeah, look how far my muck boot goes in. If I go any farther, how far my muck boot goes in. That's how deep this water is. All the way up that. So that's almost 1 foot. And then the overfill from this swale, it's definitely greened up a whole lot. But this is the overfill, and it definitely overfilled. Sent some water down the way. Filled up our Zuni bowl, the first one and the second one, to where it's overfilling into our culvert pipe. And even this swale is overfilling, so this is the level spillway for it. You can see how full this one is. And we come over to the other Zuni bowl. This side is super filled up. That's to the brim there. And that just got about to the brim on our little broken end. The cows that had broke that part, we got to build that up some more. But this filled up this whole area. Oh, if I don't slip and fall. So we can see how it's flooded a lot of this raised up part where the tree is. And this was our broken spot. I had patched up with some rocks so we don't lose any more water. But luckily that overfills into this ditch, which leads over to this other Zuni bowl by our neighbors. See how everything has led to this other double Zuni bowl, and look at all that sediment that's up in there now. Now we can scoop all that out and use that for other swales and garden beds. We see where it's all leading to into the culvert pipe there. And then same with this side all drains into it. And then here's a little ways up from the driveway, another swale that we have on the property, close to the driveway itself. Well, we can see this one filled up real nicely. And then it pretty much filled up this basin that we have dug out here. Look at all that water, that's crazy. This thing filled up mad. Look how level it is with the ground itself. So now we're spreading more of the water up on the raised part. It's great. Our double swale, as one of our viewers had put it. So this berm backs up the hill and stops water like that, and then we have the ditch that leads from that Zuni bowl, and then we have a rolling dip that any water coming down that way hits that, gets driven to the Zuni bowl, and then comes down this way. So we do have more to do on the ditch itself. Like, we're gonna do more to help slow that water down and not have it just cruising down this whole ditch line here. So that's in the future, that's to come. 'And here's our Zuni bowl, not even 20 minutes later, already draining and soaking a lot of water in. That was crazy. Four-tenths of an inch. After seeing the amount of rain come down and the amount of water that was flowing down the south side of our property, I was super eager to actually start marking out the earthworks on this portion and the bigger actual earthworks that we've got going on. And we're definitely going to need the big machinery for the big earthworks that we've got planned for this spot. And we already got another storm on the way.